Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome everybody to Apex Racing TV. Welcome to the heartland of California here, the Sonoma Raceway, where we're getting set for round 11 of 12, the penultimate race meeting of the season in the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you in part by TD's Tree Service. Good evening everybody. Good morning Alex Simpson. We're getting ready to go here at Sonoma Raceway.
Yeah, good morning all, and yeah, looking forward to this one. I think, trying to remember the last time we raced here at Sonoma, we had an absolute fantastic race. I'm hoping for a repeat of that tonight. So yeah, Andrew Woodhouse will be with us shortly.
Yeah, it's one not to be missed.
No, definitely.
It's Snetterton last week, but we're running through the championship standings in a moment. But first, we've got a hot lap to run you through of this 3.7 kilometer Sonoma Raceway. Take a look.
Welcome everyone to Sonoma Raceway, located here in Sonoma, California. Great to have you with us as we provide you your track guide today in the Ford Mustang around this 2.2-mile road course. A road course that broke ground in 1968, and its first race was an SCCA Enduro event held on December 1st of that same year. This course is a real challenge for drivers with its 12 corners and 160 feet of elevation changes. We are in for a ride. As we get going here, moving up onto the front straightaway out of turn 12, a short straightaway here at Sonoma. As we cross the stripe and approach turn 1, slight left-hander as we come out of here, wide open up the hill. Going to lift on throttle, get that car to the left because this is going to put us into turn 2, a very tight right-hander. Real careful coming over that crest there with the throttle. This will bring us down into turn 3. Want to let that car roll up over the crest. Blind entry again. One of the toughest corners, turn 4. Right-hander that drops off, easy on the throttle. Back down another hill into turn 5. Very fun section here. Up over a blind entry into turn 6. More of a carousel type turn that brings you downhill to the left out onto the drag strip of Sonoma. The longest straightaway here at Sonoma. And not a very long straight at that. Into turn 7, down through the gears, into second gear. This is a double apex 180. Very difficult turn to get right. A lot of overtaking opportunities back there at 7. This brings us into the famous S's here at Sonoma. A lot of tricky footwork to get through here. Into turn 8, the car roll back to throttle, up over the crest, up through the gears, down into turn 9, fast left-hander. This brings us into the sweeper. Turn 10. Getting back to throttle there. Bring us down into turn 11, a hard 180. Heavy on the brakes. Drivers will look for overtaking opportunities on entry back there. Up out of 11, through the gears, around turn 12, and this will bring us back out onto the front straightaway. That is your track guide for Sonoma Raceway.
That's a lap of the circuit, and I guarantee you it's one that's not going to be, you don't want to miss. We've got an hour race about to come up. We've got a full pace lap. We will run you through the championship standings first, I think. We'll run you through the top 5 in each of the pro and open categories in the classes. It is Bushfink Racing's Aero Nom that continues to lead. The gap is now down to 13 points after Mike Dam's convincing victory at Snetterton last week. Clint Vigas in 3rd. Then in 4th it's Stephen Thomas. Kevin Ford in 5th for Ford Racing. Then in the open category, it's Mike Monaghan leading. 2nd, Scott Brooks. 3rd, Jennifer McDonald. 4th, Corey Wharton. And Raymond Bader Jr. in 5th in the open category. Moving over to the Mazdas, it is Madhouse Racing 2 and 1, with Rob Hartley leading the way there with a healthy advantage over Brian Holmes, who took the Mazda victory last week at Snetterton. John Allen's not racing tonight. We are going to hope to speak to him during the broadcast today. Busted his arm while driving. Is a real car, not a sim car, driving a real car, so he's going to be on the sidelines today, which is a shame because he was only 2 points behind Brian Holmes going into this one. Travis Venke 4th. He'll be hoping to capitalise, and Jim List in 5th, and in the open category it's Zachary Rubin 1st, Joe Boyd 2nd, Chris Tallman 3rd, Mike Key 4th, Edgar Sanchinelli in 5th. Quickly the grid for we get a chat with some of the guys before we get going. Aero Nom on pole, Mike Dam 2nd, Kevin Ford 3rd, then it's Clint Vigas 4th, Stephen Thomas 5th, Iannucci 6th, Wright 7th, Davis 8th, 9th Russell Ruddock, and 10th Michael Ruddock. Then in the Mazdas it's Rob Hartley on pole, Jim List 2nd, Travis Venke 3rd, Joe Boyd 4th, Dave Payton 5th, Jeff Jacobs 6th, 7th Zachary Rubin, 8th Geordie Fike, 9th Chris Tallman, 10th Edgar Sanchinelli. Good morning, Mr. Woodhouse.
Good morning, Mr. Bath. Sorry about that. I was on the wrong server. That was my fault. I'm afraid for being late to the session, but yeah, we've got... Should be a good one, this. Sonoma tends to challenge the driver. It's more of a driver's track, I think, than some of the others we've been to. So yeah, it should be good.
Now this is the IndyCar layout from 2007. Now this is when I first caught a glimpse of Sonoma Raceway back in the days when it was shown on Sky, and it's a bit different to the full layout. As we would have seen in the track guide, of course. But yeah, we'll get used to it as the evening goes on.
Just limit the opportunities slightly, but maybe creates 1 or 2 more. Especially at the beginning of the race, I feel, when the cars are quite close together. Here we go.
Safety car into the pit lane, and you can see the hairpins a lot earlier. And as Woody said, it may take away an overtaking opportunity, but nonetheless, the green flag is in the air. Round 11 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here at Sonoma is green. Good start from Nom, but it's 2 wide behind him going into the first corner. Great start by Ford. He's going to try and go around the outside of Mike Dam, the winner from last week, and it looks like the Ford racing car may just have the inside line here as we go up through the roller coaster. Or the staircase, I believe they call it.
It's very bumpy in there as well. Ford just slotting in front of Mike Dam, and that was important for Ford, also important for Dam. But yeah, it's a tough track, this. Fine, single file racing is going to happen more often than not, especially in Sector 1.
Mazda's just getting underway now. Hartley continues from his pole position and leads into turn 2. 2 wide just behind them. That's Joe Boyd v David Payton. Texan v the Canadian. Can't really get polar opposites there. The Southern State versus the Northern Country. Wheel-to-wheel stuff there as they go through turns 3 and into turns 4A and 4B.
Oh, car slightly out of control. Is that John Allen? Is it in the? Zachary Rubin. Zachary Rubin in the similar livery.
I'd be concerned if John Allen was here today. Racing with the one up. Well, he would be racing with the one arm.
Yeah, we'll get John. We'll get John into the chat as we progress. Obviously, so, yeah, broke his hand in that accident. So.
Or did he crash his Mazda, did he?
He did, yes. Yeah, he did.
That's a bugger, isn't it? Not only do you crash out, but you get injured.
Yeah.
Pretty crap. I'll go get well soon, John.
First lap completed then. No major incidents to report. Aero Nom already establishing a 1.2 second lead. Hasn't won since the Nürburgring back at round 8 of the season. And in terms of the races in California this season, at Laguna Seca and at Fontana, it's 1 apiece between Dam
and Nom.
Rubin's
off again. Oh, dear. and he almost got collected by Jeff Jacobs, who had to take avoiding action, which does involve him going side by side with Ruben into the hairpin. Ruben goes wide. Are you allowed to use... I take it you're allowed to go outside those yellow lines?
You are, yep.
Yeah.
What's actually defined as a racetrack?
I've driven here before. I have driven here before. I can't remember what series it was. But it's a very technical layout, this, but not the best for the racing, I think.
My favourite's the Cup layout, personally. Even though it's the shortest one.
That's a good one, that.
Drove this track a lot on Forza 4 when it first came out, a good 7 years ago now.
I remember that. NASCAR games for me, with the Cup layout. But we did a bit of IndyCar here, Alex, didn't we, back in the day? Some of the classic IndyCar.
Yeah, we did.
Not the easiest circuit to get right. Have the F1 cars ever come here?
Yeah, they have as well.
What did you make of it?
It was interesting. I think is what I would say.
It's amazing that you look at the track now and it looks like it's surrounded by sand, but when they started coming here, it was all grass on the outside.
All right, that it is just dry grass. Really, just a really sort of parched landscape, because it is California, isn't it? And there's a lot of that around there. There's a lot of it. You can see that there's splashes of green around the side of the track. It's just not a lot seems to grow. I think it's a bit like, well, it's not as much like Laguna. Laguna is just all right. That is just dirt and sand, is it?
Maybe they came here earlier in the year where it was fully grown. I don't know, but yeah, into the final corner come the Mazdas to complete their second lap. And yeah, it's still Hartley leading the way. The gainers so far in that class, Peyton and Ruben.
Go without saying that Mike Dam's going to have to make a move yesterday. Get through. He's going to have to get through as soon as he can.
Yeah, this is the Daniel Ricciardo. Sorry, this is the Max Verstappen on Kevin Magnussen moment situation, isn't it?
Yeah, when he says you've got to do it now. Yeah. And I think he does have to do it now, because we've seen people try to save fuel, Alex, in the past, but that's the last thing he needs to be doing now. He needs to be getting past Kevin Ford and getting off after Ironom.
Yeah, exactly. 2 seconds gap already. So this is a tough track to get by, though. So I'm not surprised that not straight past. I just want to also
very stop-start, though, isn't it? Because
yeah, it is.
The guy in front's always on the throttle in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Just short runs everywhere, which really makes it hard to get it. And those watching will notice that we're using the older overlay again this week, and there's a couple of little technical glitches just before the meeting tonight, which has prevented us from using the new one. We're constantly working, bug finding and things like that, so hopefully it will be back next week.
Mustangs coming into turn 4 of the circuit. 4A's on the Cup layout, so we won't have to worry about that. But one thing I did notice when just looking at the track map now, turn 11 we don't use on this layout. It is officially a 12-turn circuit, but turn 11 is not on the track map.
Okay.
the many wonders of this circuit, yeah. The American corner names. They're coming now into turn 7. And then 7A, which is that second right-hander. Now they plunge down through the S's.
There's about 18 corners in this layout. How can they call it? How can they call that 12 corners?
It's because there's A's and stuff like that. Right, they're coming into turn. This is turn 9.
Even with three chicanes, that makes 15. I don't know what they're doing.
And now they're coming into turn 10, the Mustangs. And now they're coming into turn 12, the final corner.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah, I can't even... No, I have no idea what they're doing when they name these things. I think they do it on purpose, just a bit of trolling. Good old-fashioned trolling, Alex, I think. Oh, List versus Frankie side by side, yeah.
Like a troll face on a Monday evening, sorry. But yeah, this wheel-to-wheel stuff here between Jim List and Schwenke going through the fastest part of the circuit.
This chicane here is a lot tighter than what you think it is when you approach it.
There's a lot of curve on the inside which you can take.
I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, the hairpin, it's not a stupid thing to say, I guess, that the hairpin was moved back so that the IndyCars have got runoff area. But, I mean, having that chicane as well kind of just takes away any chance of getting through into there, doesn't it, really?
Since this came to iRacing, they have opened up that chicane a bit now, so that since the IndyCars come here, you can actually try and set up the car in front. But yeah, it is a bit tight.
Because that's one of the things that the regular sort of section at the back of in the last sector of the track, the one that they use for the, is it the long course, Alex? Is that what it's officially called? The one that we've used before?
Not really sure. I think it's still like another IRL something or other,
Because that last section, the full course, the S's section on the full course, for me that would be perfect for these Mustangs and for the MX-5s.
Yep, no, I agree.
Here comes Frankie then. List having to go defensive here. This is probably the best overtaking opportunity on the course. Nice and flat run into a hairpin.
But I would use the hairpin rather than these two corners together. But yeah.
Yeah, that's another problem that they've made with this layout. Yeah. So
I think they've sorted that. I think they actually do use the hairpin now when the IndyCars come here. Of course,
I guess given the right car, this isn't a bad layout to drive. And I imagine that especially the Mazda drivers are enjoying it. But yeah, it just stifles the racing. Anyway, are there any Mazdas that are close together? Yes, there are. Chris Torman, Edgar Sancinelli battling over 23rd and 24th positions. Torman made a bit of a mistake in the chicane. Well, Sancinelli to get closer, but unfortunately he can't capitalise on that at the minute.
Two open cars fighting it out here. You'll notice that by the green strips, I believe, on the graphics. Torman driving for CT Racing. No surprises there what the CT stands for. And is in relation to a CT scan. But Edgar Sancinelli driving for Rito Sports Racing. Those are the two teams.
I mean, Kevin Ford's doing a grand job in second place. Obviously, in the last, he nearly hits the wall. That was nearly the ultimate commentator's curse, wasn't it? But Alex, do you believe that Dam? I mean, I don't know if he can do anything more to try and get through, but 0.4 of a second, it might be kind of the limit. He might just have to send one up the inside somewhere if he's gonna.
Yeah.
Because he's now 3.5 seconds.
At some point, you're right. He's gonna need to do that. I think really
is.
He doesn't want to risk third place. I understand that, but and he does
pressure
tend to get
on Nom,
strategy
doesn't
right.
He? That's the thing. Nom keeps banging up away these good results,
but we've seen how close these races are, even when they're running nose to tail in the first stint. So, and Vigas will be enjoying this as well, because second place, with all due respect to Clint, at the minute he's not really in a position to win races. I mean, I know he took the one at Virginia. Not really there at the minute to win races on pure pace.
Yeah, that was after it.
The second place seems like a really nice sort of. I mean, second place is literally 2 or 3 car lengths in front, so it'd be great for him knowing how good he is in the second half of the race.
That was a disaster for Nom and Dam, wasn't it, Virginia?
Yeah.
And an opportunity for Dam to really close the gap in the championship. It has helped Mike Dam that Nom hasn't won a race since the 90-minute one at the Nürburgring, but
that's the race that I came late to, and we had the best 15 minutes race of the season pretty much in both classes. Mazdas were a photo finish nearly.
Oh, it was. Yeah, that was an amazing finish. And yeah, just to reiterate,
Alex went to sleep and he missed the best bit.
Oh, we've had a few good races, haven't we? We had Virginia. That was great.
We've had,
yeah.
Daytona season. Was brilliant at the end. Everything's been really, really good quality all season long. Why we enjoy this series so much.
Just to reiterate, the gap between Dam and Nom in the championship is 13 points going into this one. And I believe we can now go to an interview. We've got technically an in-race reporter, even though he's not racing today, but I'm sure he's following the action. It's John Allen.
Evening, or should I say morning, guys?
Good morning. How are you doing, John? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. Impaired a little bit from participating tonight, but I still, want to be a part of it how I can. So I like continuing to keep an eye on the competition.
How's the
You're
hand?
probably glad you don't have to drive this layout, to be fair. Not the best.
You might be surprised to hear, but Sonoma, now not this layout, I will agree, but Sonoma is one of my favorite tracks in the service. I think it's not used enough. I would prefer the other longer full layout for sure, but I'd tolerate this. I just miss running it.
It's a good technical challenge, at least, for the drivers. What's the key thing to a fast lap time around here?
Well, the Mazda is the prototypical momentum car. I'm curious to see it. Clearly, Hartley's out and running right now, but you wonder those who can maintain their tires or later in a stint, depending on what pit strategies will be. It's so hard on them because you can drive the same lap. Pardon the dogs there. You can drive the same lap.
I was going to say, I know you were like injured, but I didn't realize you made those noises as well.
Yeah. Multitasking evening. I'm sure you guys know all about that.
That's it. That is it. But no, is it interesting for you to watch the race unfold? As obviously you'd rather be driving in it, but are you gaining anything from watching these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say some of it is predictable. Some of the guys I've run with longer than others. You can kind of, see and watch what they're thinking. I don't think, given the gap right now, for instance, I don't know that Travis is really trying in earnest to get around Jim so much as pressure him to make it easier by a mistake because he loves to save fuel. But I don't
know. He might be going for the inside here. John, just 2 seconds. Oh, nearly. Nearly managed to get him in the quarter panel, but list survives. Carry on.
Well, and early on, and you guys may have covered it, I jumped in a little bit late, but Joe Boyd there at the tail end of the pack now, he survived a little bit of early drama. 2 different cars contacting him before 6 turns had occurred, and put his head down, and then he's in the mix now, so kudos to him.
Adam noticed that a little bit, sorry mate.
Yeah, second place has been blown wide open in the Mustangs. Mike Dam, I think, got a bit fed up of following Kevin Ford and eased him out of the way somewhat. And yeah, Vigas was able to capitalise. So Vigas is now second, and now Mike Dam is still stuck behind Kevin Ford,
which proves even more than normal that I'm an idiot because it was the right decision to stay there behind. Well, not that he looked like he was trying very hard, so he didn't make the decision to stay behind Kevin, but maybe it wasn't such a bad idea. Now we'll see exactly what the championship leader has got. And we'll see what Clint Vigas has got as well now that he's in some clear air. So it'll be down to him to really push on, I think. John, are you going to stay with us?
I certainly can. Looks like Travis may finally be getting it done here, by the way.
Yeah, just after he's been given a warning for track limits. He's through into second place.
Go then. Kane, Spanky, then in front of Jim List, David Payton, Joe Boyd. Mentioned Boyd surviving the contact. Yeah, Adam, you saw that. He got bashed around quite a bit, didn't he, on lap 1?
He did, yeah, and has been able to recover as Schwenke runs out wide again through the final corner. Very difficult to pick out what line is best to take there. John, would you take a wide exit like Travis was doing there?
I think generally, yeah. Just the careful thing is you got to be patient on getting on throttle. You can use that momentum, but if you do that lap after lap and you're scrubbing the tires, you're going to give it all back very quickly, I think.
All right, well, John Allen's going to stay with us for the remainder of this race, and right now we're going to pause for a moment to get a message from our friends at Ricmotech. And you can find all their great products at ricmotech.com. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
We're back at Sonoma, and you have just seen what happened to Clint Vigas, to Kevin Ford, and to Mike Dam. And the stewards are looking at it. Incident involving cars 32, Kevin Ford, and car 93, Mike Dam, under investigation by the stewards. And Alex, you've had a chance to have a look at that, as have our viewers, and your thoughts. Looks like maybe a frustration creeping in there.
Possibly. I mean, it looks obviously it looks very unintentional. Just just an accident, just genuine accident there. So, I mean, if it was anyone's fault, you have to give it to Mike because he's the car from behind, and Kevin got hit from behind. So, but honestly, it just looks like a racing incident where obviously Mike's trying to get as close as possible to get a run done. So, hopefully, there's not any kind of major penalty or anything kind of sort of take away from this race that we're having, which is a great one so far. But
at the end of the day,
I think he might get one.
9 times out of 10, it's the car behind's responsibility to to overtake cleanly, and it always has been like that. And I don't know why, because some leagues that we've seen before, they've sort of decided to mess with the rules and things. And I mean, it's the car behind that needs to not crash into the one in front. But then again, that's why I'm not a steward. Nom leading the way.
Yeah.
By 7.5 seconds. Vigas did close in on that lap. Nom did have a bit of traffic with Chris Torman, but Vigas closed in 3/10, 141.578 on lap 12. Kevin Ford's fractionally quicker, Mike Dam fractionally quicker than Vigas as well, but only by half a tenth. Iannucci had closed up. It seems like he's got real trouble compared to what he normally does at the front. He looks somewhat slower, Adam, than he has been before. He's 1 second slower than Mike Dam and Kevin Ford in qualifying.
Yeah, I usually see him get a great start, don't we? And he has gained a position, to be fair, but yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be making any inroads just yet. Maybe if Kevin Ford gets passed by Mike Dam, he might slip into the clutches of him. We can tell you that the incident has been reviewed, and Mike Dam has just been given a warning, so the equivalent of a black and white flag.
There's a few going on as well. So there's car 32 so car 32 and 93. Cars 29 and 94. That's Prevenas and Michael Ruddock. Yeah, that's
the two classes.
That's under review. Yeah, Mike Dam's been given a warning, so the book has been lightly lobbed in his direction instead of being thrown at him. And then no further action between Prevenas and Michael Ruddock, which I assume John was an incident with lapping of the traffic.
Yeah, this is going to be, unlike some of the other tracks we've run, it's a lot less clear-cut how to work that multi-class. I mean, there's Mustangs will feel just about justified in any section of the track, as flowing as it is, to make the move. So awareness is at a premium.
Jeff Jacobs is.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
I was just going to say Jeff Jacobs has been into the pits already. We're just over 20 minutes into this one. Is this a John Allen style strategy that we're seeing here? Is he pitting early and maybe he's trying to get it home from here?
Yeah, he's a recent graduate of the school of the early pit stop. It does. I mean, back to the point about the Mustangs coming through. Sometimes that's the overriding reason to do it at a track like this. The best way to know you're clear is get in before they get to you, and maybe you'll never see them again.
Me as well. I always use the strategy that when I know it's a little bit different, but when I've played F1 games and things like that, if I'm in a slower car, I'll always go as long as possible, avoid getting lapped early on, because that's the worst thing that you can do, is have to give up time to the blue flags. And right, if you can avoid them once, you might be able to avoid them for the rest of the race. Father and son team, Russell and Michael Ruddock, unsurprisingly, running extremely close together on the track, Alex, as we see normally. Less than 1 second between them. It seems cars 94 and 95. It seems like they're always pretty inseparable on the track, which is definitely a good starting point for a team.
Yeah, always very, very close. I'd like to see what the dynamic is out there. On there, do they G each other up? Is there a personal?
Or is he saying, "Get out of the way"? Are you holding me up?
Yeah, exactly. Is there a bit of personal feuds going on now? You know, trying to get that one up over each other and things like that. You know, because no, when I've raced against my dad, I cannot let him win. You know, but of course he wants to try and beat me. You know, so and these guys are even closer. So I imagine it must be a heck of a lot of fun.
What must it be like, John? Do you think, like, to have? It's pretty cool that you've got a father and son team so evenly matched, really, when you consider that all the varying factors that could go into the skill level of the driver.
Yeah, the family dynamic's pretty cool. We had it, had it across classes as well with brothers Giuseppe and Pat Iannucci a couple seasons ago, for a couple seasons, and it was certainly interesting to be in practices and hear the banter a little bit. But sometimes I never really, it never happened, but you always wondered in the race with some of the tight battles up front. Giuseppe, myself, Robert, Brian, Travis, and then the Mustangs would come through, and it was tight. You always wondered, kept a close eye on Pat to see like would there be an advantage gained to the brother, but it was all done very clean fun.
Or would they be hitting each other, which is usually what happens when me and Alex are on the track and we're not related. So there's definitely a chance of getting on the trying to get on the there's definitely a chance of a collision every now and then.
I'd be doing that as well. I'd be like, come on, get out of the way, just bumping him out the way a little bit.
I've
Move in your slow Mazda.
Getting him disqualified because too many 4Xs in the old Kia Optima, no doubt. But it was interesting actually earlier on, Alex. I didn't actually get the chance to touch on it earlier on, but we had an interesting interview with Josh Thompson. How he was going on about how Nico Foggy's connection was giving him incident points because the sim was reading him as going through Foggy's car when he wasn't. I mean, is that a common thing? Have you seen that much before?
Can't say I have seen that.
He had about 90 incidents.
That's just a good excuse for Josh for picking up 94 incidents in an hour and a half long race.
I didn't see. The thing is, I honestly didn't see him hit anybody. Oh no, I saw him hit one person, but that was kind of it.
90.
I don't know. 94. He said he got 94 incidents because Foggy was lagging, and he said he was kind of clipping through Foggy's car every now and again. But looking from where I was, I couldn't even see him getting close. He wasn't even close to him, so I have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Nice to see that actually everybody's connection here is stable.
Yeah. Is it US server? I imagine, John, is it?
Typically, yeah. I see that. It looked like Patrick may have had an issue there.
Oh yeah, he's
no
done
longer with us.
Yeah, he's done for the day. He was involved in 2 crashes. One of them was with Michael Ruddock, I believe. Mike Dammers finally got past Kevin Ford.
We've got 2 track limits violations.
It was a back marker actually that did that as well. So just Dams into the pits as well.
Right.
Sorry, just quickly, 2 track limits violations that the stewards have put towards us. Travis Davis is in trouble for track limits. He's just got a warning. And Raymond Bader Jr. has received one as well. So, I imagine... John, I'm not entirely sure how that system works. Would a second one be a penalty?
That's where you'll see, yes, a drive-through or a stop-and-go. I wasn't in on the drivers' meeting tonight, but I think that one of the other of those you'll see, should they get a second.
Cool. So into the pits, Thomas. Yeah, Thomas.
Everybody's in.
Damn it. No, in fact, all the leaders are in. And
they've managed to get into the pit lane without putting anybody in the wall, like somebody did in this commentary booth. Samuel Lebert, I don't think has forgiven me for that one.
Oh dear. It's such a shame, Alex, we can't just queue footage up on demand, isn't it?
Because that'd be brilliant.
That would be the highlight of the entire broadcast, to be honest. For those who don't know, Adam entered a Formula Renault race here, and Samuel Lebert, one of our long-suffering drivers in that series, it had to be said, was unceremoniously punted down the pit lane. And of course, when you get shoved off the track to that side, there's absolutely no way you can go. You have to drive through the pits. Oh dear. I mean, it was funny, I'm not going to lie.
I'm sure he saw the bright side of it in the end.
Off. Mustang off. It's at the other side of the track and I can't see who it is. Hold on 2 seconds. Still no idea.
No, it wasn't
I
Leon
think
Wright.
it was,
That was who I was watching.
Was it Mike Ruddock?
Somebody
went-
They're still
somebody-
the same sort of distance apart, so.
Somebody went off at the chicane, I swear.
It wasn't Leon Wright, was it?
Oh yeah, it was Leon Wright. Yeah, it was.
Okay, I just I saw him go a bit deep, and I
It
didn't know
wasn't
that's
as
what you were
bad
going
as.
on.
No, I was watching the Mazdas coming through the middle sector, and I saw a Mustang like what looked like he was completely sideways onto the track, but he was just he was just a bit offline.
Well, Travis Davis leads the race. He's yet to come in. Any changes in the pit stops? I don't think so. It's still Nom that's the highest driver that's pitted. Then it's Dam, Vigus, Ford, Iannucci and Thomas. So that's still all as you were. It's whether these guys are going to change.
I'll just do my bit for the sponsors and say that the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series is brought to you by TD's Tree Service as well. So just to get TD as plug while he's driving around the track in the lead, I think that seems fair, Alex, doesn't it?
Why not? Why not, indeed?
No. Sorry.
I was going to say the man from Indiana approaching the big month for Indiana, not too far away now.
There. I cannot believe that we are nearly at the end of March. By the way, I cannot fathom where nearly 90 days has gone since the new year already. But that's just how things are at the minute. Oh, look at this! I nearly swore then. Look at this big smorgasbord of cars, shall we say? Jacobs,
Oh, my word.
Monaghan, Vigus, Dam, Payton, Ford, and some others as well.
This
What's
is
going
Dam on Vigus then, isn't it? He's at the inside of Vigus.
No, that's not Vigus. That's
Oh, he's got past Vigus already,
that's
hasn't
Monaghan.
he?
He's already passed him. Yeah, Vigus. It is for position, but Mike Monaghan has not come into the pits yet. And Kevin Ford driving past. Look at the new tyres. The advantage they're giving.
But yeah, we haven't really alluded too much to the strategy. I've got the email here from Kevin Ford that gives us all the details. Mustang drivers will be taking just the 2 tyres on the stop. Obviously save time. Mazdas are more likely to take the 2 left sides. I'm sure John Allen will help verify that for us. And in terms of the fuel, they'll get about 21 to 22 laps on the tank. But yeah, it's all kicking off.
They're still going at the hairpin. The Mazda's very, very close together. Somebody's got damage on that. Well, Raymond Bader Jr. has got a lot of damage on the front of his car. Still going, but he's dropped down. He's pitted. We haven't spoken about Geordie Fike at all. He's about to get a lap put on him by Travis Davis. Fike currently sat in 4th position. Obviously, some of the MX-5s have pitted, but Geordie Fike having a decent season. Car 71. Clint Vigus has been warned about track limits as well.
How about on the track with this be the track limits? Is it the exit at the final corner that we're looking at?
That would have really been my only guess.
Oh,
Again, we weren't in the driver's briefing, so we don't really know. But
The thing is, though, I
guess there must have
imagine
been some sort of
I
word
imagine
had.
that you, as Vigus having a go on Dam, by the way, into the hairpin. Dam cuts him off, but I imagine it doesn't gain you any time because the wall comes up at you. Would that be right, John? If you go too wide in the last corner, I'm guessing you don't gain a lot because you have to avoid the wall.
Yeah, you take that wide arc and carry a lot of speed, but if it's too wide an arc, you have to lift and give it up, or else you'll impale yourself on the pit wall.
So some people have done that in practice this week. The Dam goes very deep. Vigus clobbers the curb and he gets sideways. This has allowed Kevin Ford a chance. He might have a go into the hairpin, Adam. Yeah, he may have to have a go into the hairpin.
not close enough. It's such a quick run up that you can't really get alongside in time.
Oh, almost
now
into the wall.
Vigus has now got the run on Mike Dam. How quickly it can change, and Vigus looking at the inside of Mike Dam into the first
Dam
corner.
looks like he's got no grip, Adam, at all. Gliding around everywhere.
Well,
Couldn't Vigus up into net 2nd place, it'd be fair to say, wouldn't it?
maybe he took no tyres because he was only in the pits for 17.8 seconds, Mike Dam, compared to Vigus and Nom, who were in for 23.7. Maybe it was just no tyres. But yeah, the car is looking very, very short of grip at the moment.
Yeah, Alex, is this track surface slippery compared to some of the other ones we go to?
No, not really. One of the old school circuits, actually. The grip around here is pretty good. Certainly nothing like a Japanese tarmac, you know, that we have. So
Confirmation that Dam did change tyres, so still searching for grip.
Which corners would you say, John, on this track are the ones where you have to be very careful about the traction?
Well, heading up into the first few as you're climbing that hill and switching back and forth, several of those are just banked so wrong that if you're not patient and you try and put the power down too quickly and the car isn't settled, you just burn the tires off and regret it laps later.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised to that point that Robert hadn't come in yet to pit. He gave back a second in recent laps to Travis, and his slowest laps were his 4 slowest laps of the last 5. Prior to this last one, he seems to have found a couple tenths back, but there's no reason really not to come in from what I can tell, but he's still out there holding the gap.
I mean, I guess every lap that he does, the less fuel he'll have to put in the pit stop, and that 7-second lead, to be honest, he can allow a little bit more leeway. He's got to nail his pit stop though, Adam. We've seen many times, we saw earlier on in World GT Championship that a few bad pit errors really did cost drivers dearly.
Just getting the entry in right, isn't it? Because then you get
a very long pit lane here.
Travis is in.
Travis Schwenke is into the pits. Thank you, John. Yeah, he's into the pit lane now. You can see they duck off going through turn 11, which we don't use. Just before you came in, John, we're having a rant about the corner names on this circuit.
Yeah, there are basically 18 corners on this circuit, John, and they only actually say it's a 12-corner course.
Yeah, we fall prey a lot to the adding letters to 10A, 10B at Road Atlanta, things like that.
I don't mind. I don't necessarily mind a chicane getting sort of 10A, 10B treatment, but when somebody names like an inconsequential kink corner, but then there's an actual corner and they call it A or B, it's like Road America.
Yeah.
Road America is the worst one. There every time down that straight, it's not really a straight, but it's not a corner either. Yeah, doesn't count for me that. But you know how we'd solve this problem, Adam? Corner names.
There you go.
That's what more American tracks need. Corner names. I know some do. I know they have some. That usually the very iconic ones like Carousel and Corkscrew.
They could take
Kink,
some off the
Canada corner.
They could just take the names off the Grand Tour, call it the tricky bit or the difficult bit, or the isn't straight.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect for Road America, isn't it? I think we should just overrule motor racing and just call it the isn't straight.
Yeah, Laguna Seca's the isn't straight.
There's no straights on that track, as far as I'm aware, no proper ones. But
pit stops have been quickly. The pit stops have been.
Hartley's still going, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He's now on his 21st lap. According to Kevin Ford's notes, you can get about 22 laps done on this tank of fuel in the Mazda, so we'll wait and see there. But everybody's completed their stop in the Mustangs now. It's Nom, Vigus, Dam. Dam's actually not too far behind Vigus now, and then Ford 4th and Iannucci in 5th.
Alex, what do you think? Do you prefer corner names or numbers?
Yeah, names. I prefer names.
I mean, even if we get those wrong, we know what we mean.
Yeah, just names are much more memorable, Yeah,
there's a reason why I know all the corner names at Imola. Because that's just it's how we grew up with those names, isn't it? And learning them, and
even the names of Magny Core I can remember.
Yeah, and we haven't raced, and F1 hasn't raced there for 10 years.
I think a lot of the American tracks would be well served to do a little social media outreach and offer it up to the public to have naming contests or something of that sort.
Corner face, yes. That's what we do to our ships, yeah. when you throw it open to a public vote, yeah.
I mean,
never just the British public to vote for anything.
No, just no, yeah.
Got to look out for that kinky McDrifty poo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll name it after some disgraced entertainer or something if you give the British public any sort of naming rights at all. Vigus versus Dam. He's still going on. Hartley's in. Right. So where's Travis Frenkie? The answer is, well, he's still in the middle sector. Very deep in the middle sector, so...
Some number-only corner, no doubt.
Yeah, this is 7A. Oh, no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong... Yeah, it is 7A. There you go. Now through 8 and on towards 8A. He's got a few Mustangs in front. The good news for him is that Hartley has only just reached his pit box, and a typical stop in the Mazdas is about 20 seconds, so he hasn't got much more of the laps to do.
One thing I thought that Formula 1 did very well, by the way, at the weekend is that they started, I don't know if you noticed when they were showing the cars going around the track, they put the corner number in the corner of the screen.
Yes.
So that the fans who are new to the track, or maybe even people who aren't new to the track, can find out where they are on the circuit. We need that. I think that would be impossible to actually do, but something like that would be great for tracks like this, so we can tell you exactly where we are. Schwenke is just coming over the start-finish line, Adam, and Hartley still has the lead. It's not as large as it was, and now he's having to get out of the way of the leaders.
Yeah, this might close the gap down a little bit as Vigus, Dam and Ford all go by in this.
Frenke's getting so much.
Worked out really well, didn't it?
Yeah, gap's down to 2.4 seconds.
Hartley did take all 4 tires, though, so that may come into play when he gets these Mustangs out of his way.
We know what Travis took?
I think just 2.
That would explain it. He had to try something in order to try and overhaul Hartley, but it's going to be difficult. We saw Brendan Hartley having a good race at the weekend, even though he was no man's land, and Rob Hartley doing the same here.
One of the highlights of the weekend was last name versus last name. And they even got its own Twitter account after the race.
Yeah, of course it does, because everything does. Everything does here now. Yeah, I think we've had that issue before, haven't we? Last name, and that's something similar, haven't we? Like
we've had blank space versus blank.
Yeah, blank versus blank.
Quite good. It's like a bit like insert team name here. Kind of that. Dam was very quick through that chicane there. He gained about maybe a quarter of a second. The braking's up. The thing with that hairpin, I think, John, that we've got here is it is a slow corner on the apex, just about 60 kilometers an hour, but it does open up quite a lot. So it's not a slow corner, but it's not really a hairpin because it kind of you can go. It's an opening corner basically. So the driver's not quite as much braking area as you would imagine.
Yeah, it's deceptive on exit. I mean, it seems to just open way up, and then if you get enticed by that, you're staring right at the wall that's pinching you back in. So it's met many a painted fender.
Quite a few corners like that, Alex, in some of these North American tracks as well, where it's just kind of the drivers sort of treat it like a hairpin, but it's not really give you the overtaking action of a hairpin just because it is a longer corner or it's a shorter corner.
I mean, sorry, I kind of missed what corner you were talking. Are you talking about the hairpin that's approaching now?
Corner.
Yeah,
last corner.
The last corner. Yeah,
but this is one as well where he's got the profile of a kind of a tight corner, but because the entry is as it is. It's kind, and Adam said, because they don't use that straight hairpin that they've got there, it means that the overtaking chance isn't as high because the corner itself doesn't lend itself to it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're taking a bit more speed into the corner, you double apexing it basically. So, I think that's the whole thing with this layout that we have is kind of takes away all of the overtaking opportunities. So. This short one here as well, the fact that there's just a sort of a curb there and you can run over the inside of the curb, and this is why we're seeing people get track extending or corner cuts.
What's happened, John?
What's going on, John? I heard something, yeah.
Well, in the final chicane there, things got a little hairy for Travis as he had lap traffic and multi-class traffic, went really deep in there and lost some of the time he gained, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, the gap's now back up to 3 seconds.
Oh yeah.
He's got
kind of
in
didn't really
front
know
of
how to
him.
approach that, did he? Sorry.
Yeah, he's got the Mustang in front now of Stephen Thomas. He sits in 6th place.
The way everything's spaced right now, though, with still 12 minutes to go is a lot of time. It's up to the luck of when and where you catch the traffic. It could still, close the gap just by turning equal laps, but catching the Mustangs coming through at the right place to where you can not slow to let them through and draft them till the next one.
And a trend of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series is that it does always tend to come back together again.
Sorry guys, I just want to point you out to a bit of a battle going on right now, and this is between Peyton and Joe Boyd. They're side by side. Actually, Boyd makes a mistake, runs deep.
Oh, nearly took the cup course there. And
they've been together from Peyton jump. Through.
Oh, who's that coming through?
That's one of the Ruddocks, I think, isn't it? Russell. Going to the outside here, going into turn 7. And who's this coming behind in the other Mustang? This is Matthew Katila, trying to go around the outside of Peyton. This has allowed Joe Boyd to close back up again. You've also got in the mix here Geordie Fike and Jeff Jacobs.
What a gaggle.
That is a gaggle, yeah. That's the first time I've used that today.
Oh, certainly a gaggle. 5 MX-5s. See, what could possibly go wrong?
Everything. We go through the chicane. I don't even know what corners that is. We'll say turn 9.
Chicane, right? It's a chicane.
Into the final corner.
I would have, if we'd have been using the other hairpin, I'd have renamed it.
Fun.
I'd have renamed it Adam Bath Corner. It's a Mustang. It is Ruddock, Russell Ruddock.
Oh.
Had an issue. Has he spun or was he hit? Question.
Did he jump or was he pushed? Or similar. Through the final corner, yeah, it looks like he just lost the rears on the exit.
Might have pushed too hard.
Yeah.
Zachary, oh, what's that? I heard real tyre screeching there coming over the hill. Somebody really punishing. And we're going to go for a break just before the end of the race. Before the conclusion.
Traffic has worked its magic, guys. Just FYI for the Mazdas up front.
Oh
yeah, they're right together now. So in fact, we'll just see maybe if anything goes off in the last couple of corners, but then we'll go and see the guys at Ricmotech one last time, and before we see the conclusion, which is usually brilliant in this series. So Alex will take it away with that, and then we'll be back in 2 minutes.
We're back at Sonoma for the concluding part of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Round 11 at Sonoma, and Adam Bath, Alex Simpson, Andrew Woodhouse, John Allen, special guests in the commentary box tonight. And John, great race so far, and it's still up for grabs in both classes here.
As you said before, it finds its way there nearly every week, doesn't it?
Well, I must say that the win isn't up for grabs. Mike Dam going for second into the chicane. And he is through, but he might be under pressure again, especially if he lights up the rears like that on the exit of the chicane. Aeronom's away, by the way. He's 9.6 seconds up the road, but second place is still all to play for, just as his first place in the Mazdas. Hartley Schwenke, very, very close indeed.
Sorry, I was looking at Vigus very nearly into Mike Down. I think he might have hit the wall. Vigus might have hit the wall there. I saw sparks flying. Oh yeah. Did scrape the wall, Alex?
I think he saw an opportunity. I think Mike went in a bit deep there, so he was trying to get a good exit out, didn't he? So if you get the run, he's not going to give this place up, Clint. He's got there's an air about the way he's driving that says he wants that place back.
Tell he's growing back into the series, and John, for somebody who Vigas has been around this series for quite a while. He was a very good competitor in the a couple of seasons ago. Is it good for you to see him up there again?
Yeah, absolutely. He did have a hiatus there for a bit, but he's one of the comedic members of the community. He's always in the drivers' meetings, cheery with a laugh.
The banter is flying there.
Hope his car won't be flying. So he can have a good battle with Mike Dam at the end. And with Kevin Ford, who's still there, he's driving well. One of the league admins, of course, Kevin Ford, and only 1 second behind Mike Dam in second place. Aeronom's gone. 9.3 seconds is his advantage. So looks like the victory is going to be going the way of he. But still a long time to go. Still, 5 or 6 laps that can be completed.
Dam's disappeared. He's now back down to 4th.
Hey? I turned away for literally 2 seconds.
Connection
issue. He headed into the chicane in front, disappeared halfway through it, reappeared behind the 2 guys he was fighting with. Dear me.
Little game freeze there, I think. We've seen a few of those tonight, haven't we?
Well, he was lucky not to be off, wasn't he? Like Carl Janssen, we saw him earlier on. His race had to end because of a crash due to something similar.
Things creeping in then, with just under 10 minutes to go, and now Dam's got to do it all over again. I think he's going to get fed up of seeing the back of Kevin Ford. He was behind him for pretty much the entire first stint of this one. Now he's got to try and get back past him again here, with 9.5 minutes to go to keep himself in with a chance of getting on the podium.
Don't know if you mentioned earlier on, but the incident between Travis Davis and Leon Wright was reviewed, and no further action. Did you mention that?
No, I didn't. No.
All right, that's fine. I thought you'd said. Hartley versus Svenke. Then, how many times have we seen this battle, Alex? And how many times has it come down to the final few laps?
Oh, so many. I lost count. That's for sure. Yeah, I think
we're only
usually about 5 minutes out. That's when they start to really go at each other, don't they? So we'll start to see that in a few minutes' time.
Oh, he's going. He's off. He's Hartley. And Svenke's going through. He is through.
Shades of the final lap at Motegi.
Wow, and at Monza 2 seasons ago for Rob Hartley, where he crashed when leading the race. It seems to be that Hartley is a fantastic driver. He always seems like he's got one mistake in him, though, Adam.
Oh yeah, Hartley's only taken he's taken the 3 victories this season, but it's only the one for Travis Svenke, so maybe it's the mistakes more with Svenke, I don't know. But yeah, Hartley making a rare one there, and he's now back down to 2nd place. However, I wouldn't rule him out of getting the position back. We've still got 8 minutes to go, and quite a few laps as well. It is one of the shorter laps, this circuit.
With overtaking being at a premium, can't afford to make those places. You cannot afford, Alex, to make it easy for your opponent. At least if he gets past you, you want to feel like he's been in a fight and he's going to have to battle for the rest of the race. But that's gifting the lead over to Svenke.
Yep. Yes. He does make an odd mistake, but not that many, to be fair. So.
Oh, Svenke out of.
Trying to hand it back to him.
That's a big wiggle.
Travis obviously not immune to it himself, as Adam was saying, but now you can see the pressure, can't you, manifesting itself on the track, Adam, because see how much both guys want to win in the late going here.
You say pressure, I'm sure they're both really enjoying it as well at this point.
John's been in the middle of this situation every time, every race nearly, and I mean, what are you feeling at this point?
Contact with Ford and Vigas.
We forgot about this one. And it's all kicked off. They're both off, and it's allowed Dam back into 2nd place. Now, what happened this time? Oh, it looks like Kevin Ford missed the braking point.
Yeah, and because Dam was putting the pressure on, Alex. He went up the inside, and that forced, obviously, Ford to be very late on the brakes. He was too late on the brakes, and Vigas was the victim of that.
It looked as if Kevin actually had a great run out of the end hairpin and just didn't use it. And when he lifted, Mike found himself next to him, and perhaps Kevin wasn't expecting that.
Go then.
Well, that's
how you do it from Mike's point, isn't it? So just a little threat of a move, and thank you very much. They clear out the way.
Fairness,
take that.
it's a little bit of justice for Dam, isn't it? Given the fact that his
It is.
internet connection has basically crapped itself a few laps ago. Frankie and Hartley then.
Yeah.
Nothing crap about this. Fantastic battle. What?
Oh.
Oh, he's going again over the top. That was the corner that John was talking about earlier on, and you were saying that the adverse camber was really.
And here again, I mean,
tricky,
both
yeah.
right-handers to start the lap are that way, and it even falls away here. I mean, 3 right-handers really to begin are all that way.
Oh, and they're both on the grass. I'm not sure both of them are going to make it to the end. We've only got a few minutes left.
Pretty bumpy, isn't it, out there? They'll be bumping along, but they'll be enjoying that, that's for sure. But going through the carousel then, and on their way to turn 7, the hairpin, one of the key overtaking points on the circuit, perhaps the best one on the circuit. Little look to the inside there from Hartley, just faking to the inside, maybe not just yet for a move. And now through 7 and 7A, and Schwenke just maintains it for now, but the chicane is coming up. Don't know whether that's enough for Hartley to get a run, but he is getting closer.
They are reviewing Vigus and Ford stewards, so that they'll be looking at that incident in detail later on, of course. Oh, great run for Hartley. Terrific run for Hartley. If he can keep the grip, oh, he's lost the grip a little bit.
Oh,
thinking about the inside, he's going for it, and he pulls out halfway through. Point, the hairpin. If you just thought it wasn't worth it.
Have we entered the penultimate lap yet? What time do you guys show?
We have 4 minutes to go.
Okay.
About 3 laps to go. What do you think, Alex? Just kind of
smart.
I
think if he'd have gone in that,
or
if he'd gone
had the faster tyres.
Yeah, I think, I mean, there was a point he let the 2 Mustangs by, and that put Travis in the draft, and to me that seemed just to be the confidence of, okay, I have the 4 tires, you have the 2, it's not going to matter, and yet here's Travis just strongly pulling, not letting them by. And it seems to me that the entire race, a little farther back, David Payton and Joe Boyd, I feel like they've never been more than a second apart since the flag dropped.
Oh, but yeah, these two are still very close, aren't they? They're just going into turn 7 now. This is Joe Boyd ahead of Payton. You can see he's taking a very tight line there, but he can afford to because look, turn 7A comes up straight away. Drive through penalty for Kevin Ford, and he's sitting in 4th, and that is not what he wants. He could possibly do a Schumacher on it and go into the pit lane on the final lap.
Oh, Hartley! Hartley side by side with Travis.
Oof.
Rob trying to go round the outside. Now he's cut back. Still on the outside though. We've got to turn left, but then we're going right at the top of the hill, Adam.
Oh, he had 2 choices there. Schwenke could have cut back or does what he does here, which is go around the outside. It may work if he can just carry the speed round the right-hander, which he can.
There's not a massive amount of grip there, but it seems to work.
If he can stay alongside going into the carousel, he's still in with a shot here.
Might just throw it in there anyway. Oh,
look
Hartley's
how deep
wide.
He goes.
It is the momentum of this MX-5 that you can carry it around the outside. And yeah, good driving indeed. Although great run by Schwenke off of the corner somehow, even on the unfavourable line. Is he going to go into the hairpin? Is he going to have a dive? Hartley's late on the brakes.
Oh,
he bounces across the curb. He pogos across there. Alex, we're set for a fantastic battle in the last couple of laps here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're minute and a half to go.
Could be on the final lap. Yeah.
Where's Nom? Because
he's just started the lap.
Is the white flag out for Aero Nom? Is it?
I don't know. Yeah,
it will be.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
feel like that was very decisive by Robert because you notice he initiated that move on the exact same spot we watched Travis get squirrely 2 out of the last 3 laps. So he may have been premeditating that for an entire lap.
Yeah, terrific opportunism there.
Drive-through penalty for...
Sorry?
Drive-through penalty for Travis Davis for ignoring the track limits driving standards flag.
Oh dear, the driving standards flag. It's our favourite, that one, from F1 2017. But up the hill we go. Hartley versus Schwenke again. Aeronom must forgive us for not showing him at all on this final lap, but Amazing battle going on in the other class. Nom is coming through. Nom is heading towards the final sector now. We'll keep an eye on him.
Oh,
Hartley's off again.
Back on again.
Gonna have dirt on his tyres. Going through the infield. Here at Sonoma. What a battle we've had. Still not over.
10 seconds to go.
You can see him struggling for the adhesion. Adam really, the grip, suffering here. Nom, is he going to have to complete another lap? We might get another one in here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, white flag.
We are indeed. So it's
Hadn't
not
crossed
quite.
the line, but it was so close that they just give him the white rather than the checker.
Well, that means that we can enjoy this battle for another lap. Lap and a half still. We've still got a bit of it left.
Wonder this might throw
Fuel
a
may
few
come into
people off
play,
with the
yep.
fuel. Yes, yeah. I've seen it
Alex-
happen before.
Alex, in terms of the pit stop, did you notice anything fuel related that they might have?
Well, Hartley was a lot longer than Travis, that's for sure. So if
Did take
if
more
Travis
tyres.
has took it to the absolute edge, obviously, yeah, we know there was 4 tyres. So
Oh, here we
oh,
go.
Where's
both
Hartley
drivers
going?
very deep.
Different lines. Similar result. Nobody really gained and nobody really lost. Adam, we're on to the final lap of the race.
Yeah, one more lap to go. And it's Hartley v Schwenke for the class win. A reminder that, Hartley's won 3 of the classes as he runs wide through turn 2. This is the opportunity. Now the shoe is on the other foot, as it were. It's now Schwenke on the outside, but he's not able to get alongside the Hartley car going through turn 3 and turn 3A.
Knows how this is going to end. Brilliant so far. Oh, Nom. Oh, Nom's had somebody spinning in front of him. Almost collected him. Doddy Fike.
Doddy Fike, yes.
I'll keep an eye on the Mazdas, and you can you have a look at Aeronom. He's coming through the final corner.
Track limit warning for car 64, by the way. That is David Payton, but through the final corner, checkered flag at the ready. I don't think he's had many more easier wins than this season. Aeronom wins round 11 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here at Sonoma.
Here we go then. Final chances for Schwenke. Final moments. Defend for Hartley. Well, going to be so close, Adam. Take it away.
Final 2 corners then. Into the chicane here at turn 9. I think it's going to have to take something special now from Travis Schwenke. They go through turn 10. The right-hander here, and now into turn 12, the final corner on the circuit. He's not going to go for it, is he? No, he isn't. But Hartley again runs wide. This is the apex by loads.
Oh!
Surely not.
He's
It's going to be Hartley that wins. But Schwenke did keep him on his toes all the way to the end.
What about Boyd and Payton? That little battle that deserves being watched the last half a lap. I think they've been so close to each other all race long.
Payton quick through the chicane. Oh, grass.
Goes off.
Hasn't lost him much time, but he's not going to be close enough to. Not going to be close enough, surely. And yeah, sensible from Boyd through the hairpin. Oh, he's out of gas. He's out of gas, surely. No, it's just a poor exit.
That was weird. But yeah,
a missed he said.
Yeah.
Oh,
what a time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I've done that. Laguna Seca in a WR in the rallycross cars missed a shift.
That is the worst time to miss one. In me, but it can happen, Alex. You're so focused on your exit and nailing your throttle and making sure that the line's right that sometimes you just brain fart, and that one thing that you need to do is the thing that you don't do.
So easy done, absolutely.
We've all done it, and I'm sure that it will happen to Joe Boyd again in the future. But David Payton this time benefits from that, so I'll take you through the final results then here from Sonoma tonight in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Aeronom taking the win. Overall victory by 8.5 seconds from Mike Dam. Then Clint Vigas in third, Squally Iannucci fourth, Stephen Thomas in fifth, Leon Wright in sixth, Kevin Ford after a penalty in seventh, Travis Davis after a penalty in eighth, Michael Ruddock ninth, Matthew Katila 10th, 11th for Russell Ruddock, Raymond Bader Jr. 12th, Michael Monaghan in 13th. Into the MX5s then, and we saw victory for Robert Hartley. Really good race all around. He built up a big lead, had it cut into massively, didn't he? Then it's Schwenke in second, then Jim List, David Payton, Joe Boyd, Jeff Jacobs in 6th, Zachary Rubin 7th, Jody Fike 8th, Chris Torman in 9th, Edgar Sancinelli 10th, 11th for Michael Key, then retired Brandon Whitworth, and then Patrick Prevenas. Then obviously the did not start John Allen, Ryan Cobb, and Brian Holmes.
Cobb in the stewards box for that one, but
why,
yeah.
I was going to ask you, John. Actually, do we know why Brian Holmes isn't competing tonight?
I'm not sure. He had the fastest practice time when I looked earlier, so I'm not entirely sure. I was going to ask you the same thing.
Probably fast asleep like we should be.
Yeah, of course, because the hours have gone back. So, yeah, it's now coming up to 20 to 3 here in the UK.
Yeah, give me my hour back.
Which is always fun for us, of course. Which means that I probably will only have time for the 2 winners, I would imagine. Rob Hartley joins us in the commentary box, and Rob, well, that was a battle, wasn't it?
Yeah. First, I'd like to say it's been a while since I've been in here, but yeah, Travis is always fun to battle with. I can expect him to be clean, and he expects the same from me. So,
well, it looked like you were doing everything in your power not to win that race, and then you pulled off a fantastic overtake, and which John was saying that was really decisive, and in the end that was the key.
Yeah, I took 4 tires on the stop, and with the Mustang traffic, Travis got back to me, but I think the 4 tires is what made the difference.
And obviously, we've said before that battles with Travis have been pretty legendary this season, and again, it happened. What's it like to have somebody? Obviously, Brian wasn't here today, but what's it like to have guys so evenly matched as these?
It makes for a fun race each weekend or each week, We missed John tonight, but we'll hopefully have them boys back for next week. I know Bri had some internet troubles tonight, so.
Oh, is that what it was in the end? Okay.
That answers our question, thank you.
Yeah. Well, John's here in spirit, and he's in the commentary box. In fact, John, have you got any questions you want to ask Rob, since he's fellow championship contender?
I can't answer any of his questions.
Boycott.
I think he's worked a safe cushion into the season with a few races left, so there's nothing to give that's going to close that at this point. But Robert, when you made the move on Travis, we had noticed that 2 or 3 of the laps just prior, that was the exact turn where he had lost traction a little bit. Did you plan that for the whole lap, that was the spot to strike, or did it just work out? You had the move lined up.
Well, once I made that mistake and Travis got by me, I was really trying all I could. I couldn't barely get a run back on him, and he finally made a little mistake, and I was able to get there. And we went side by side through the whole first section, which is kind of crazy, but it was a great race.
Considering that we were saying all the way through the race that single file was really the only way you could go through the first sector, yeah, the fact that you were battling through there was absolutely brilliant, and it was an absolute pleasure to watch. Rob, have you got any shout-outs to do before we let you go tonight?
Just like to thank all the guys that race with in this league. They're some of the best on iRacing, I believe, and we like to put on a good show. So,
put on a good show you did. Thank you very much, mate, and we will see you hopefully at the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Then I believe Adam has found Aeronom, your overall winner tonight.
Well done, Era. That was a pretty straightforward win for you in the end. After that one, the gap was at 2 seconds, and you never looked back from there.
Yeah, I have to say that was super easy. In the first half, I was able to build the gap, but in the second half, my back was hurting so bad, so I was slowing down. I was working in the woods today, so it was really hard in the end.
And you had a little bit of a scare just at the very end. You had a Mazda go off in front of you?
Yeah, I was going very slow, so I was able to see, and I was prepared to stop, so that wasn't that bad.
Was there no extra worries with the fuel when you were given the extra lap to do it all?
No, it wasn't. Actually, the pit stop was something happened. Everything ended, and the car didn't release, so I had to push fueling again and end it. So I lost 5 seconds in the pits.
It didn't really matter in the end, did it?
Yeah. Luckily, Tam got in the traffic after the pits, and I had only 4 seconds, but that I was able to.
Tam finishing behind you again. It looks like you've got it just about under control going into that final race.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure how the points go. I got the maximum points today, so that was perfect. 40. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Right, well, that pretty much does it for tonight's racing from the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Just a couple of final words. John, thank you very much for being part of the commentary team tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and we certainly enjoyed having you.
I did. It was a pleasure. I hope I don't need to be sidelined again next week, but if I do, I'll maybe say hello again.
If you do, you know where to find us, exactly. Thanks, mate, and we'll see you next time. Alex, as well, thank you for the cameras and things like that. Just a last comment on the race. How did you find it?
No, I enjoyed that one. It was good. It's unusual, actually, that we give so much attention to the MX-5s, because there's battle going on in both classes. But yeah, this one week it was really all the racing was going off there after the Dam and Kevin Ford and that they sort of got together and separated apart. So
it's interesting to see a bit of argy-bargy going on, actually.
Yeah, and I think that's just the nature of the circuit, because it's so difficult to get runs. You know, people really have to push hard. You know, and that's where little mistakes come in. So, but yeah, no, it was good.
Adam, I'll leave you with the final words. I'll leave you to close out the stream. But are you around for the MX-5s tonight?
Yes. Yeah, I'll be around for that. Second race of the season. I believe it's going to be at Phillip Island. Not too sure. I think it mirrors the schedule of the Pro Series, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, that is at 8 o'clock British summer time. Reminder that we have to say that now because of the clocks. That'll be 7 p.m. GMT.
Can I just say that's before it snows at Easter, by the way? It's technically summertime.
Summer loose term. Yeah, I think we're on the verge of a possible breakthrough, but I wouldn't hold on to it. But yeah, that is at 8 p.m. British summertime, 7 p.m. GMT, and of course the Pro Series, the BSRTC Pro Series is back for race 2 of the season. 3 races around Phillip Island in Australia. That'll be on Thursday at 8 p.m. British summertime for that one. So make sure you can join us for that. But that is it from here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Just the one race to go. And Aeronom looks in control of the championship. From myself, from Alex Simpson, from Andrew Woodhouse, and of course John Allen, who's joined us tonight. Very good night to you all.